Hey Bethany, how are you?
Hey Charlie, doing great, and you?
Been way too long since we had a video together. I'm excited to have you talk a little bit about the markets. First of all, introduce yourself to our audience, please.
Hi, I'm Bethany Bump, Legacy Mutual Mortgage. I am a loan officer here local in the Bernie and surrounding areas, and been partners with Charlie. How long has it been now?
Oh man, we've closed some buyers over the years. It's time's flying. Let's put it that way.
That's right. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. My name's Charlie Wasson with the Laffey Hilger Group. I'm a realtor. I love working the I-10 corridor, Bernie, Fair Oaks Ranch, Helotes, Northwest San Antonio, though we do go all over the metro, including New Braunfels, even have gone as far as La Vernia. And we're looking forward to giving you some useful information about what's actually happening in the real estate market, because as always, you're going to see lots of bad news online, lots of bad news about the housing market because they want you to click, they want you to watch, and we're going to give you the truth about what's happening right now. It is not a lie to say rates are a bit higher than they have been in the recent future, right?
That's right. But it's not a bad market, it's just a higher rate
Yeah.
market right now.
I was out to lunch recently with a friend who I was telling him that rates were right now anywhere between, let's say, 7, 7.5 without buy downs. What's the highest you've seen as of late?
Really, the highest I've seen is 7.625.
Okay.
That has been the very high end that we've seen on the rate sheets here
Now,
recently.
but as far as historic averages, if you look at the last 30 years of mortgage data, what is the average mortgage rate for the last 30 years?
So I'll have to go back. So don't correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's in the double
That's
digits.
what I was thinking. I don't think we need to actually get in there. What I'm just saying is,
Yeah,
just
still
to
lower.
today's home buyer, if you ask enough people, you will find somebody that paid 13% for a mortgage, and that was as recently as the 80s, right?
Right,
From
definitely.
what?
And we're definitely not there yet. And what we're still seeing is a huge demand for properties still. We still
Yep.
have very low inventory, and I've had a statistic that at least 1,400 people per day are still moving to Texas.
Wow.
So there's still a lot of movement in the market, even with the rates higher, but with the appreciation because of supply and demand, the projection over the next few years, we're still going to see homes appreciate in, the 5 to 8% mark.
Absolutely. And I was at a conference recently. We don't want to beat our viewers over the head with too many stats and statistics. It's just to show you again how much misinformation out there is. There was a recent survey. They asked a bunch of people, do you think home prices are going to go up or down in the next couple of years? And 1 out of 4 still believes home prices are going to go down. And that is right now, as we're seeing it in the market, a statistical impossibility because there is not enough product on the market to satisfy the demand. In fact, if you take the number of homes in America on the market right now, compare it to 2019, which was the last normal year pre-pandemic, there is half as many homes on the market right now as there was the last time the market was normal. And as a result, if you are buying a home, especially in Texas, I think you should feel very secure that you're making a good long-term investment. With that being said, if they're buying today, they're going to need a mortgage today. Bethany, talk to us about some different products that you guys may offer to make this easier for the home buying public.
Definitely. So we're mostly focusing on what your comfortability is monthly and
Okay.
meeting that goal. And not so much focusing on the interest rate because interest rates are temporary and we can't control them right now. So, a couple of different options we've seen lately are the 2-1 buy down, which is just a temporary. The seller pays for your first 2 years of interest to be less than what it is, so we can keep your monthly what you want it to be. On top of that, I am doing for anybody that closes on the purchase of their home with me, up to 3 years after closing, no lender fee refinances. So all of my clients are on a program. As soon as those rates drop, we will be ready to refinance them into the lower rate environment, save them money, and gain that appreciation. So, even at a $350,000 house, the appreciation they're going to gain in 1 year is about $28,000.
Okay.
So the monthly payment is going to go down, and we're getting creative in our solutions to keep that monthly where we want it to be for our clients.
That's great. So I know one of the things that a lot of people have talked about is, oh, should I refinance? I know there's a lot of fees. So again, you are waiving those lender fees.
Correct. Up to
Okay.
3 years.
Okay, very good. And
Yeah.
and again, we don't have any crystal ball. One thing we know is that if you are locked into a mortgage today, in 3 years, you won't be paying a higher interest rate than you are today. We know that, and all the upside that could come along with a drop in rates, which is going to come. The Fed is going to insist that these rates come down because they are high now, because they are imposing these high rates. As soon as they push them to a point, which there's talk of more interest rate raising from the Fed, which will increase mortgage rates. So there's a chance that what you're seeing today could be gone in the future, and you may pay more by waiting, at least on the interest rate side. Is they've got to start tampering down, and as soon as job growth slows, as soon as these price increases slow, it's going to come down. They don't want to keep these rates high. They just want to try to get this inflation under wraps. And as soon as they do, I feel like we ought to see these interest rates start dropping back down. Mind you, I don't think we'll ever see 2s and 3s again. So please do not wait for that, or you will be a 90-year-old person still renting an apartment.
Right. And as soon as those rates come down, what is going to happen? You are going to be competing like we have been the past 2 years with multiple other buyers that waited for those rates to come down, and then you're going to be having to overpay for the property just to get in it, like we saw. So right now is a great time.
I think, Bethany, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I think if we get in the 5.5% to 6.5% range, we are going to see madness in the market, personally.
Agree.
Because there are so many people looking and just not enough houses out there right now. Though I got to tell you, right now, I feel pretty good about what the market is. I don't know if people are finally just saying, well, this is the new normal and I got to get about my life, because I've got a lot of sellers right now coming to market. One of them, he retired from the military, got his new job in Las Vegas, so they've got to sell. Another one, a little old lady, her husband passed away. She just can't keep up with the house. She's ready to move into something a little bit simpler. Life is still changing for people out there. And if it's changing for you and it's spurring your need to have a different address, definitely get a hold of us. We'd love to help you. Bethany, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Just Google Bethany Bump Legacy Mutual Mortgage. You will find all of my contact information right there.
Is there anything else you want to add before we end today?
I don't think so. I really think that right now people are starting to come to the realization that rates just are what they are going to be, and focusing more on the investment, because the greatest way to build your wealth is really through real estate. I truly believe that.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I ask a question you may not be able to answer? I don't know if you can. I don't know enough about your world, but you've talked in the past to me offline about how many pre-qualification letters you have in the hands of buyers.
Mm-hmm.
Is the number
how many?
A lot?
Yeah, so I have right now 55 active buyers out there looking for homes with approval letters.
Yeah, they're ready and able. So, and you and I share some of those, and they're just waiting for the right house to come along. They're just waiting for something. I mean, don't kid yourself. The market is strong here in Texas. Sometimes we're just waiting for the stars to align, but isn't it exciting to know that we live in the in my opinion, the best state in America to be in the real estate business.
That's right. Couldn't agree
All
more.
right. Google Bethany Bump if you want more information on anything that she talked about today. I'd love to talk to you as well. You can Google my name and find me anywhere. Charlie Wasson Realtor, CharleyWasson. You can see it right there on your screen. Bethany, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Charlie. Thanks for having me.